Ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, remix. Welcome to another episode of Couch Potatoes. Oh, we're flashing gang signs now. but yeah, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode. It's episode 76. We hope you enjoyed the last one, but it's a new one, and it's kind of a weird one because so much has happened within the past week. It is currently let me see, the 7th of November, and if you're watching this, by the time you watch this, you'll have already known. Well, at this point, I mean, the elections are pretty much done for. Um, so by the time you're watching this, for sure there'll be there's no doubt who the winner of these elections, presidential and Senate, da 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 da, whatnot, elections, the winners. So yeah, today's episode is kind of gonna revolve around that because, like I said, it's been a wild week, it's been a wild year, it's been a wild couple of months. But before we get to that, I wanted to catch up with our host for today. But before we get to that, I want to excuse Bruce because he did hit me up and he said that okay. So I asked him, I check in, I try to check in with
Man,
everybody.
what that guy
Go ahead.
say?
All right, let me. Hold
What that
on,
guy say?
it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting. I try to check in with everybody, make sure they're gonna be on the show or not. And he said, as you know, there's been a lot of sayings and online reports that current President Donald Trump says that he plans on barricading himself within the White House, even if he loses, he's not going to get out. Da da da. So Bruce, this is what he texted me. He's apparently been recruited as part of a group, right? I guess you want to call it a task force, uh, to go to Washington D.C. to be specific. So people are like Washington State. Why is it going there? No, it's going to D.C., capital of the nation, to help. I guess if we'll say in hood terms, as the youth say today, kick out current President Donald Trump from the White House. So he's part of that task force. In case he barricades himself, he's gonna, get him out of there. Um, and he actually claims he just landed because he says I'm about to land. But the thing is, why would he text that? Because your phone's supposed to be in airplane mode. So I'm assuming he actually did land. I don't think he'd want to put anybody else on the plane in danger by turning on his phone again, even though it probably wouldn't work. But yeah, so that's Bruce's reason for not being here today. Now, if the FBI, the NSA, um, you're watching this, you have to take it too seriously. Bruce is a funny guy. Maybe he's really not doing that. But that's Bruce's reason. But let's get to the superstars for today's show. I mean, I know I'm a superstar, but I'm a superstar all the time, so I need to chill out. But our first, we got, the intern, Diana, who claims that we don't pay her enough. When really, I don't think any of us get paid the amount we all deserve. And then we also have Edward, finally back on the show as well. But yeah, I wanted to check in with y'all. How y'all been? It's been a minute.
Edward can go first.
This is Diana.
Excuse me. This is a family show. I don't know why you're doing that.
Families.
Nah, I'm cool. Just a little busy. Last week I was ready to go at 4:30, and then it got pushed back at 5:30, and I already had plans by that time, which was to pick up the nephews. So apologize for that.
Bro,
But just busy with the. What's up?
why'd you say that? I told them a totally different reason. Now they're going to think I'm a liar, bro. I said you were out there saving cats from trees, bro. You're saving lives.
Bro, that was like 2 weeks ago.
Oh,
That
wait,
was
yeah.
2 weeks.
Oh, no, so I didn't lie.
I saw the video.
So then what did I say? Because I'm posting that episode today because everything's been crazy. I've been knocking out a lot. But I forgot what I said. But we'll see, though. Maybe I did say that. So I'm not a liar. So maybe I said you had to rescue some nephews or something from being kidnapped or whatever. But you're here now.
Diana, put that animal down, please, for its own sake.
Whoa. That was scary.
He's purring.
You really have a cat, huh?
Nah, but I'm cool.
Mhm.
How you doing, Diana? How's that cat?
I'm good, you know, trying to work both of my jobs. I'm currently also studying to be a registered behavioral technician. So a little anxious about that. My exam is on the 22nd of November. So we'll see how that goes.
And
That's it.
you
I'm good though.
So,
you kind
so when
Huh?
are we
oh no,
getting the
go ahead.
PS5?
Yeah, is that gonna happen? Is that a thing? I kind of believe it. So
I thought Bruce was getting that for us since he's going on missions and whatnot.
true, he is going on missions and whatnot. But I was
So
gonna ask, what exactly is that? We just said the technician thing, so people who are listening know what the heck you're talking about.
I think there's different names for them, but at least for my company, we call them BTs, and it's just basically people who work with children who have autism, and we
Yeah,
follow a plan, a session plan, and everything, and we just do different activities with them to get them to master certain behavioral tasks.
man,
That's
this
it.
could
Yeah,
pretty good breakdown. I'm impressed. You didn't fumble over your words, as you know,
I almost did.
bumbling. Well, see, you're not supposed to admit that. You're supposed to be like, "Oh, why? Why would I do that?" Da, 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 da. Oh my gosh.
And then
So you guys see that light flashing? Because my
yeah.
room is haunted. The studio room is haunted right now, and they don't want my diamonds to shine. You know what I mean? But yeah, before we get to the whole, the nitty gritty of it, there is. I don't know if you guys have heard of that Hurricane Ida. Some people say Eta. I keep hearing Ida,
Kita.
but yeah,
Where's that one at?
so that one, it kind of it went between like Central America, and it's but in the direction
Oh, is
of
that the one that
like
hit on? Is that the one that hit on Honduras and part of Guate?
yeah, yeah, yeah. It's
Wait.
it's called like crazy flooding. And I think right now it's on track to hit potentially Miami and Cuba. So they said it's a big one. I got scared. I didn't look too deep into it, but there it goes again. I didn't look too deep into it, but there it did. Let's just say leave catastrophic results on its trail. Again, I don't know too much about it. I did try to do some research, but again, like there's so much. Like a lot of it is being like kind of pushed down because of the election and whatnot. So I'm trying to find specific information, but yeah, they're one of the main things, problems that's been like in Honduras or Guate and in large parts of Central America is like the major flooding that's been hitting them. Like obviously because there a lot of people are in mountainous, if that's a word, terrain. So it's just a lot of landslide, a lot of mud, pushing people's homes down and whatnot. But but yeah, so it's been crazy. So I just bring that up because I don't want people who are watching to be like, wow, they didn't even like talk about what's going on in the world right now. I mean, because there's so much going on, we could go into different things. But yeah, I wanted to just bring that up because we'll link some things down below where you could potentially donate to help out different communities down there. I did see one. I actually saw two of them. I know Edward, you posted on your story a couple of days back, or I think a day or two back, about a certain donation drive that people were doing. I did see another one. I think I sent that one to you, Diana. So we're gonna post that down. So if you can lend a helping hand, help them out. Because I mean, there are lots of places where we can provide help, but as I'm not, I guess we're just highlighting this moment, the situation. There's a lot that's going on, and I guess it kind of hits the home because like we're speaking of ethnicity and nationality. Guatemala is home to some of my family. I got roots down there. I haven't been. in a long time. I think last time I went was maybe 8 or 7. Because prior to that, I've been several times, but I do remember my grandma told me that there was one time on the plane where she dressed me up with like cute little overalls or whatever, trying to stunt on our Guatemalan family members down there, and ended up urinating
Wait.
myself on the plane. Yeah, so you know how like it's like light blue denim.
Wait, how old were
overalls?
you?
I was
How old were
maybe
you?
6. No, wait, correction. No. Let me. I think it was 4 or 5. 4 or 5. Because I guess I didn't tell her. I didn't tell her like, oh, like I need to go to the bathroom. Because I just, I was chilling. I'm on a plane or whatever. At least that's what I remember. And bam, my light blue overalls turned to dark blue denim in a second. But yeah, so we could go on
Wait,
and on.
do you
but
have family? Do you have family members in that part of Guate? Like the one that got hit?
that part? I hate to use this word luckily, but thankfully not. But it's like I think if I'm correct, they're much closer. Well, they moved much closer to the city. They've been there for a long time now, close to the city. But still, it's like it's still that connection that like I said, the roots. It can't be like whatever. I don't really care, because at the end of the day, yeah, I could be like and at the end I'm American or blah 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 blah. But I'm proud to say I got family in Guatemala. Just my roots are there. And it sucks to see like these images of families freaking trying to carry each other through like freaking waist high waters, and think taking into consideration this whole COVID spread and whatever potential bacteria diseases that the waters also carry, that can not just whether it's COVID but also I guess potentially infect other individuals with other different illnesses. So I mean it's a lot. It's just like a slippery slope of just like thing hitting after another, one after another. So it's we live in difficult times, and especially those who are suffering down there. So yeah, if you can take the time to research that, if you're listening, watching, to find out, like we always say, right? Find out more for yourself. We don't know everything. We try to bring to you as much as we know, but find out more about what's going on. Other ways you can help. We'll link some stuff down in the description. But if you can help, that would be awesome, because even if it's not a lot, like I said, it's the little things that count, and the little things when they build up, it provides a huge foundation and huge support. So there's that. So let's move on to I guess some bigger and brighter news. What a segue! The world's greatest segue I just did right there. But as you know, and I'm sure Edward and Diana as well, today and I'll get into a little why it's like a little confusing, but according to Google, Candidate Joe Biden has won the number of electoral votes, or kind of surpassed it really, that you need to be elected as president. I think right now it stands at 290. Yeah. And I think Georgia, is still counting their votes, or there's probably one more state that's still counting.
Isn't it?
I know Nevada just finalized. I think Georgia might be still counting.
Wait, did he win Nevada for the 6 votes?
I believe he did. Yeah, that's the thing. That's why it went up to 290.
290.
It was at 284 for a while.
Yeah, Nevada was 6 points.
North Carolina.
Yeah. They're still counting.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Georgia and Alaska.
Okay. So yeah. But I mean, like I said, it seemed like Google's shown us the numbers, and it seems that and according to social media and everybody reposting and whatnot, that candidate Joe Biden will be our 46th president, if I'm correct. Yeah, 46th president, and it.
Well, I feel bad for whoever's taking APUSH.
Oh man, well, do we really feel bad? Because I feel like. I mean, because here's the thing. When we're taking, at least to my experience, because Diana, we took the same class, right, Miss Smith? Yeah. So shout out to Miss Smith, wherever you are. But we taking APUSH. I remember a lot of the topics there were interesting, but when it came to current, I don't want to say nothing was going on at the time. There's a lot going on always, but it wasn't like you wouldn't see the dun 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 like Spanish like news, like COVID-19, like it's an action movie. Like, oh my gosh, it's like it was, a war and whatnot, but it's stuff we were accustomed to hearing in the news. So at least for when it comes to current news, at least these new high schoolers, yeah, it's a lot of information and a lot going on. But at least they can choose from so much. If there's like a time right, well, in November, they can write it down.
I see what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
I feel
at this, go for it.
even then, like, I don't think we got tested much on the current stuff. Like, it was more
Yeah,
of the stuff that happened beforehand.
yeah.
If anything, the kids 10 years from now, they're gonna
They're gonna have fun with it. Freaking, I'll never forget. We had this one dude, Edward, in a class. What's his name? Oh, Luis Ortega. If you're watching and listening to this, I guess this is a shout out, you little nerd. But I remember the time rights. What we had an hour, maybe hour 20 to do like a basic 5-paragraph essay. Yo, you'd be like, yes, I got my intro. He'd be like 2 pages in, like front and back, boom. And you're like, what are you writing about? Like, what is there to, what are you reading? And then you realize, obviously, some people intake much more information, much better than most. I don't know how he did it, though. And I think part of it was that he actually did try and he did read a lot and was very studious, unlike myself. That I was like, man, how can I BS my way out of this paper?
Yeah, he sounds like him and I would get along pretty well. 2 pages,
for
I'd be
sure.
done with 3. But
Yeah. But that's the thing, because I love history, man. I enjoy it. I think, especially U.S. history, like when you go down into the deep nitty gritty, it's like there's a lot to dissect. But when they're like, you have to write about why this, and that within an hour and 20 minutes, with dissecting and explaining to us and analyzing, I'm like, that's tough. I don't know if I'm gonna do all that because I don't want to really. So, in conclusion, good luck to the future A-Push students that are probably going to have fun writing all these papers because there's a lot of information to take from. But what was I going to say? Oh, so yeah. So it's projected, right? And that's the thing. And this, I'll go on my little rant right now. So it was weird because on Google it says, I guess they gave the latest information. But if you went to a lot of, like, if you went on YouTube or you went to on TV to the news, like when it was 284, some stations had it still at like 273 or something.
Yeah.
But like yo.
Oh, really?
Y'all ain't got Google or something? What's going on? What are your interns up to? Like, what's happening? And so it's like, okay. And then that's why I texted you guys, right? So like, is it official? Is it happening? And no, Edward, you said like, well, yeah, he has a 270, this and that. I'm like, okay, so yeah, he's definitely surpassed it. But like these stations are like, oh, they're projecting him to win the election. So I'm like, all right, whatever. But now it seems like it is going to happen at this point.
Yeah, because to my understanding, as long as he has more than 270 or 270, he wins. Because I was doing the math, and even if he won, was it Pennsylvania, North Carolina, and Alaska, he would have still been at 688. He would have still needed two votes. But he lost. The orange is out.
The orange is out. My little one of my little sisters said that to me. Like, yeah, the orange is out. I was like, the orange is out. I was like, oh, that took me a while to understand and get it. But yeah, so again, like I said, it's. I guess I'll just say, it's official. If you want to say that Joe Biden has won the election. Shout out to Syracuse because he's a Syracuse alum. Syracuse Law. He actually spoke at Syracuse. Yeah, he spoke at Syracuse. While I was still there. He was a guest speaker.
Isn't the color for Syracuse orange?
Yeah.
But he just defeated orange?
Yes. So, maybe it hurt him a little. I'm like, I got to defeat this orange while representing orange itself. But it's funny because I think he went there for law school, but I think he went to like a local state college in like Delaware or I don't know too much. So I think this is the first time, I could be wrong, but I think somebody did a thing. I think it's the first time that non-Ivy League candidates have won their seats in the White House. I think think that's what I read. So it's possible. Yeah, at least Southwest College. No, I'm not gonna run for president. I mean, would any of you guys, if somebody was like, "Hey, dude, you have a big chance at winning the presidency," would you would you run for president?
Yeah, I'm down. How hard can it be? Not that hard.
yeah, not too bad. Pays decent. Get a big
If
house.
somebody that pays more taxes to China than they do to the U.S., I think I could run it.
This guy. Then they say they're like, what did he say? China taxes? Write it down.
Bro, I'd make Taco Tuesday a national thing.
That'd be great. You know, I've always wondered how difficult is it to whose approval do you need, you know, as president to make something a national holiday? Because and that actually brings up a good point because a lot of people have been arguing for a long time now that election day should be considered a national holiday. So yeah, I don't gotta go to work, and you could take, you know, because there are some people saying that they were in line for like 3 hours to vote early. This is to vote early too. 3 hours in line, and
I thought it was illegal if your company tries to keep you from voting.
Yeah.
Because then the national law surpasses the company law.
Yeah, but I mean, but you know, there's always like
Oh, yeah.
they don't have to say, oh, because you want to go vote, you're late. No, I'm pretty sure there's like, you're late. You know, this is the fifth time, whatever. Da, 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 da. We gotta let you go. So it's like, but I was voting. I was exercising my right. So there is that. I could see it maybe happening within the next 5, 6, 7 years. Maybe they'll do it. But I agree with that, you know, because ain't nobody trying to stand in line for 3 hours and be like, oh, I gotta go to work now. So yeah. But again, I'm just a lazy bum, so my opinion may not matter at all. But yeah, I wanted to ask you guys, you know, I guess the question of the day is, you know, what are your thoughts? What's your reaction to the results of this wild election? Because, you know, we, as much as the margin of victory in terms of electoral votes is pretty large, when you look at the difference between each state in terms of the votes, it was relatively close. And I guess we're referring to the popular vote within each state. Very, very close.
Wait,
So,
question.
Yes.
Did Biden also win the popular vote?
Yeah, I believe he did.
Oh, okay. Well, to answer your question, sorry, Diana, I kind of just jumped in. What I was finding is that it's kind of crazy how the coastal states were the Democratic, but the whole central like part of America, solid red,
You're like,
red. Like they were like, nope. And then Arizona went back to blue, no?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they flipped. Yeah.
Yeah, that's just crazy. It's crazy how divided the country is. Because
Whoa.
I thought it was gonna be more of a landslide for Biden, but it was pretty close, right there. That's it. That's my 2 cents.
Diana.
My turn. I mean, I feel like there was a lot of conversation between me and my second cousin about you know, politics and all that. So it was interesting to see her point of view in things. So I guess it just made me like think there's a lot in politics that you know, you have to take into account. So I realized that I'm like, you know what? I'm not even gonna worry about the elections. It's good. Whatever is gonna happen is gonna happen. You know, at this point, it's like people are gonna go for Trump. They're gonna go for Trump. They're gonna go for Biden. Whatever. So I mean, yeah, I would like still stay on the day of election. I'm like, okay, let's see if it's updated. Let's see if it's updated, just to see like who's kind of getting ahead. And they took a while to kind of count the votes and everything. So that was that was also, I think, what made it more intense for a lot of people was that you're like, it's past election day. What's going on? Like, why aren't we knowing who the next president is? And I think, didn't they also like start accusing Nevada that they're like counting their votes too slow, or that they're doing something with the votes? And they're like, why is it taking you guys so long to count the votes? Like, what's going on? You guys just want to give Biden the win and blah blah blah. So it's like, it was pretty crazy, and I feel like a lot of it had to do with the whole virus. You know, everyone mailing in their ballots and all that. So to answer your question, it was nerve-wracking, I guess, but at the same time, I'm like, you know, it's kind of out of our control at some point. So it's like, whatever, can't change it, whatever the results are.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I definitely feel on the feel you on that nerve wracking sense, because I think obviously media has a lot to do with it. I think that's why, that's why, like, I always tell, especially my older members of my family, like my grandparents, like, when you watch the news, you want to take it with a grain of salt. Try to don't, like, oh my gosh, like that's why, like, I complain to my family sometimes how, like, I don't know if I'm a big fan of the way media has covered the COVID pandemic. Because, obviously you want to know more, but every time they bring it up, it's like, hold on, like a moment for COVID. Dun, 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 boom, boom, boom. I'm like, I kid you, the music is like a Mission Impossible scene.
Like
Where it's
scary
like, dun,
movie
dun, dun.
or something too.
Yeah, and then, like, they even have graphics, like,
Yeah,
they
of people
pan
in
in.
suits and masks.
Yeah, and then there's like maybe a
Every
person in bed who maybe doesn't even have the virus, just from like an old B-roll from like a lot. Like, I'm like, all right, dude, this.
Yeah.
It's a little intense, but I think obviously part of it has tactics. Maybe it's their intention to scare the bejeebies out of people, so they put their mask on or whatever. I don't know. Who knows what the intentions are? But again, I always think it's a little over the top, because every time it's like, oh, the momento de COVID, dun, 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 dun. And then I wish I was exaggerating, but really, music be like that sometimes. But I guess why I mentioned that was because it was same with this election, because I think every other, at least election that I remember being alive for, that I witnessed, obviously the media does, like, whether, and people think, oh, well, it's the left, it's the right, it's all media outlets, whether it's like, what you want to see, like, right-wing focused media, maybe some people may throw Fox News in that, or left-wing news media, some people may throw CNN in that batch, whatever it is.
Except us, we're neutral. We're cool.
Yeah, we're neutral boats. We want to know everybody's. We're trying to figure out what the heck is going on. We're in the eye of the hurricane.
We just like the chisme.
You know what?
Neighbor.
Yeah, that's a valid way of putting that. We just want to, like I said, we just want to know what's going on, what's happening.
That's what we grew up on, man.
Yeah. So, and the thing is, like I said, the media has always made it seem like a competition, like a tournament, like two teams facing each other, what's happening. But I think this year, that was pushed so hard. Like, it felt like we're watching, like, if we want to do, like, Lakers and Heat again in the finals, like Game 5, Game 6, Game 7. Like, oh my gosh, what's happening? They're going back and forth. And I remember, it's so funny because, I mean, I guess I kind of feel for these news anchors who are, like, there practically 24/7. They're like, okay, we're back with another update. Nevada has flipped. Oh, no, wait, there's been a change.
Back. Yes.
Yeah, well, we're actually back now. Actually, there's been a change. So it's like, okay, y'all really in there struggling. But it's just fascinating how, if people are just like, oh, election day. But I think, obviously, this election has its reasons as to why it's been so intense. Are you raising your hand? Mm-hmm. Oh, you could just be like, oh, you can just say.
Because then you guys get mad at me for interrupting. So I'm trying to be polite.
Yeah, like you're trying to show a video or something. But yeah, go for
it. So you were talking about how you felt like the divide in between, like, Democrats and Republicans this year. Do you remember if you had the same feeling when, like, Trump was elected? Like that battle, because I feel like maybe that's what too. Really? Because you know how when he won, like, everyone, like, at least we were still in school. I was in school and
Yeah.
everyone was mad. Like, everyone got out. Like, they started, like, basically, like, trying to get him out.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm trying to think. I'm trying to remember if there was a divisive, like, if we felt it, because
Mhm.
I know what you're talking about. I felt that intensity of, like, oh, Democrats, oh, Republicans, like, who's gonna win, blah, blah, blah. So I'm just thinking, like, was that there too when, like, he was fighting for that spot initially, which I think there was too, but I can't remember the feeling.
Hmm.
I don't think it was this strong.
You don't think so?
Yeah.
Because the whole Hillary Clinton emails being leaked or whatever, it kind of like brought down the Democrats. They're like, well, there she goes. We're fucked.
That's it, I guess.
Yeah.
So you guys already, I mean, I guess it was already foreseen that Trump was going to win. So it was less of a like, oh, maybe we have a chance.
At least that's how I remember it. But
Yeah.
bro, my memory.
I think, at least for me personally, I remember because when we found out, like I remember I was at church when we got the results. Like everybody was checking on the phone, like once the service ended, and I remember there was a sister there she was like, "Oh my gosh, he actually won." I was like, "What?" And I checked, and look, I remember. I think that was the first. I think that was probably our first presidential election that we were able to vote for. No, right? Yeah,
Yep.
that was our first one. But I remember, like, I remember it being
Wait,
divisive. No, was it?
No.
Yeah, I think it was. Because before that was
Yeah, you're right, you're right.
Yeah.
we were too young to vote. Dang.
Edward doing
Hey,
that.
oh my. He's like, wait a minute.
His eyes start rolling back.
He's like, "Ah." Traveling in time. But first off, that I just want to point that out. That's wild. That was, I think that election was in 2016 or 2015, really, because November. It's been 5 years since that. That's crazy to me. I was a young what? What's 24 minus 5, guys? Let's do the math.
17.
17? Yeah, I was 17 years old. Wait, no. Was it
22 minus 5?
No, 24. 24 minus 5.
Oh,
Oh.
19.
19. So yeah, I was 19. Okay. See, that's funny because I kind of thought it was 19, but I doubted myself because I think I did
Bro.
math one time and I got it wrong.
Yeah, you
Don't
did.
doubt yourself. You a
Edward
king,
was
my
very
boy.
disappointed in you.
Yeah, he was.
He
He
didn't
was
want to
like, wow.
disappoint you again, Edward.
What
Forgive
was it?
him.
Money? I forgot what it was. But yeah, so imagine we were. I guess if we want to push it, I think. But Edward, I think you were gonna turn 20, no? Or you already were 20 by that
Oh,
time?
I don't know. Was it December already?
Yeah, November, December. Oh no, I think you're still 19 then.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably.
Okay, so that's crazy though. Wow, we were young, and I'm still in the same place, going to college. That's another podcast. But yeah, it's been crazy. And to reiterate, to go back full circle, I don't remember. I remember it being divisive because the MAGA hats, "Make America Great Again." You know what he said, like, "Oh, the Mexicans sending over their worst." There's all that, right? And and the thing is, even then, right? Even like Edward said, even with the Hillary Clinton controversy and whatnot, I think at least for me, part of me still thought, man. I mean, even then, I was surprised that at the end, Donald Trump did get the nomination. That was wild. I think for a lot of people, they're like, what the heck happened? But I think even with the leaks and the controversy, I think people were still like, nah, there's no way. Like, we're not going to let this guy, this TV personality, crazy guy run the country. There's no way.
We did.
And yet we did. Yeah, we allowed for that to happen. That's the crazy thing because, like I said, I think that was because I don't think there was a sense of urgency. There was a sense of divisiveness. There wasn't like what's going on. Meanwhile, if I'm correct, this election, there was a record number of votes, right, placed, if I'm correct. Never before seen, at least in a long time. So there's that. I guess you want to compare.
What I find dumb is that the Trump supporters were saying to stop the count.
And then to
But
keep counting.
yeah, but it's like
Stop that count.
a lot of them also thought like the whole mail-in ballots were like something new. I'm like, that shit's been going on for like since probably the postal service. It's
Yeah.
just never
Yeah.
been disused because of COVID. You know,
Yeah,
man,
exactly.
there's some dumb people, bro.
It was so funny because I was watching a lot
Dumb.
of news and how they were talking about that. And I forgot the name of this person, but I know she's in Trump's, you know,
Camp.
people group, whatever. And she was saying how she's like, yeah, well, they can't count the votes that they got after election day. You're like, yeah, but it was like stamped like on the day of election,
Yeah,
so they'll
post
count.
day.
They voted that day. And then she's like, yeah, but you can't count them, like it doesn't count, blah blah blah. And then somebody told her like, so you're saying that because you're saying that they voted that day, but they can't count it that day? And they're like, no, yeah, they should count it. And it was so dumb. It was literally like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah.
And they were just making fun of how, you know, Trump supporters were going back and forth and stop the counting, keep the counting whenever they would see that like off balance
Yeah.
that Trump wasn't winning or whatever. That's great.
And even then, though, there were individuals who I guess maybe weren't necessarily in current President Donald Trump's camp, but they're part of the Republican Party who even criticized him when they were saying like stop the count. He's like, they criticized him because they're like, you know, this at the end of the day, you know, people may argue different, but I guess you want to say it is a democracy, so you got to count everybody's vote regardless of who they voted for. You got to count it. So then that should already tell you if individuals in his own party, but I'm sure a lot of individuals weren't a fan of his in that party. They were like, yeah, bro, you need to shut up, bro. Yeah, Edward, I see I see your hand, Mr. Leon.
I appreciate it, Senor Moctezuma.
Fuck this.
Yo, how many votes you think your boy Mr. West got?
I think it was around, I want to say, I could maybe way out, but I read it was around 60,000.
And how much did Trump or Biden get in total?
Oh, it's millions. I know for sure. It's millions. I don't even know the number. It's just out there. But yeah, I know he got around 60. I don't even think, I think the average, I don't even think he made it past 0.5% of the average. Something, yeah, it was some crazy number. I think even, what was her name? Joe Jorgensen or somebody? They got 0.5%. So it was above him. So Ye was like with other, and then it was Joe Jorgensen, President Trump, and then now now going to become Joe Biden president. So yeah, he was at the Biden team. I think, and the thing is, I even took did I get a screenshot? That screenshot. He tweeted something. He changed it, but the first tweet was, "Welp, guess I'll be running in 2020," something like that, right?
Nah.
In the re-edit, he took off the whelp, I guess, and I guess to be more serious. And he was like, oh, 2024 is my year, I guess. God bless or something. But I thought the first tweet was funny because he really put whelp. Whelp, I guess I'm running in 2024. But yeah, it's what a year. What an election series, because it's been wild. What was I going to say? And I guess there's one thing I did want to bring up because, again, this is just from my analysis and my opinion. Like we always say, Cast Potatoes, we don't know everything. We're not a political analysis show. We work with what we got, with what we know and the experiences and what we have. What I wanted to share is that I think what happened, a lot of people argue, maybe see the other side of it, but a lot of people argued when President Barack Obama was elected, that this sense of complacency kind of set over people, because there was like, what was it? Kind of like, our first African-American president. We did it, right? It's like, yeah, the party's on, we're set. And then 8 years later, we're like, whoa, what happened? This new guy's coming in. What the freak did we do these past 8 years? Like, because think about it, I don't think any other president has brought about such a movement, whether it's protesting, whether it's organizations becoming a thing now. Like it's, I don't think anybody else has brought, I guess, so much divisiveness, if I'm using that word correctly, within our nation. It's crazy. It's wild. I mean, there are people talking about how like this, whatever the result, there might be a race war or some type of civil war or something.
Yeah.
As always, the internet is undefeated in their memes and whatnot, even in relation, so luckily there's that to kind of bring some humor to the situation because let's face it, and again, and you see videos, right? Especially, I think there's a lot of footage from New York City of people like celebrating. Like it looked like we won the World Cup. It looked like the USA won the World Cup.
Bro, they're celebrating over here in Hollywood. Yeah.
Oh, really?
I think New York is also celebrating.
Yeah.
Washington. I forgot.
Yeah, well, like huge crowds and whatnot. I think in DC as well, some groups are there celebrating. But when you look at it, it looks like the USA won the World Cup. It really does feel like that. Like we did it after I don't know how many years of being boo-boo in the national level.
Yeah.
But even with that being said, and I think obviously there are a lot of people who, for this moment, is I guess you want to say a moment of relief. Some people believe Joe Biden is not the perfect president. If anything, they're the last guy they probably wanted to vote. There's still a lot of Bernie fans out there who are like, we still got cheated out of a good one. So, but at the end, obviously there's still some people who are like, no, Joe's the guy. Blah. So there's different opinions on who our current president will be, or who our president will be for the next 4 years. And with that, what was I going to say? Dang, I had a good point. Oh, so with that, it's not to knock on anybody who's celebrating, right? For some people, they're celebrating in reference or in their, there's a elevated feeling of relief, like I said before. They're sighing, kind of like, oh my gosh, thank goodness, right? Thank God it's not going to happen. We're not going to go through another 4 years of that. And for others, it's a celebration, because they do support Joe Biden. They've been in the Joe camp since the beginning. There's that as well. And this is not to knock on anybody who's celebrating, right? Because, you have a right to celebrate. This is, I think, a huge victory for a lot of people, a lot of groups. But at least for me personally, I feel like this is just the beginning of a new chapter. Me personally, I don't really share a lot of my political views and whatnot. I even tell you guys, right? I don't want the show to become too political and whatnot. I want us to have fun and good time, but still being aware of what's around us and what's going on. But for me personally, this election, the result, it did feel like a victory for lots of personal reasons, for lots of, whether it's family, friends, for me personally, it felt like a victory because for me, I feel that the president shouldn't be somebody who, yes, you can have your own opinions. Yes, you can have your own thoughts on certain things and policies, blah, blah, blah. But I feel like your goal shouldn't be to divide the nation. It should be to somehow unite the nation. Again, you're not going to win all of them. That's the reality of the situation. You're not going to win everybody over. But to at least attempt to not spew out divisive rhetoric, right? And try to, bring people against each other. Even if that's not your intention, like, our parents, I'm pretty sure, have told us, whether English or Spanish, like, watch your mouth because words carry a lot of weight. And maybe for me, I'm like, man, this guy's just joke. He's clowning. He's just trying to be, crazy with what he's saying, trying to bring something out of me. But for some other people, they'll be like, that's true. Like what he's saying is true. That's the truth. It's not fake news. They're doing this and that to us. So, like I said, words carry a lot of power. So, I guess to go back to what my point was that with Joe Biden being elected president, I guess officially, as a lot of people are saying, for me, as much as it is a victory, it's a new chapter. Okay, what's gonna happen now? Like it'd be very easy for a lot of people. Like, okay, we did it, job done, right? That's it. We can kind of chill. If anything, the same attitude, the same type of pressure that lots of groups, a lot of people did bring towards President Trump in his reign, like whether it's protests, whether it's calling him out, that same energy needs to come through in 2021, 2022. This next 4 years, if they do get reelected, the next 8 years, if you want to say, that same energy needs to come through. Because like I said, He's not the nobody. I don't think there is a perfect candidate. Everybody's gonna have their flaws, their pros and cons. Go ahead, yeah, go for it, bro. Oh,
Oh no, I'm the perfect candidate.
you're the perfect candidate.
This guy.
Was it Edward Leon 2024? Yo, that'd be crazy. But yeah, so like I said, right, so for me personally, I guess that's my kind of reaction to it, where it's like, as much as it is a victory, it is a moment where you get to reflect on what has been these past 4 years and look forward to the next 4 years, but with a new um, wisdom, a new lens to look through. So, all right, so what's happening? Whether it's, to me as a person of color, who's still college student, who's trying to work things out, or for my family, right, or for friends that are going through certain situations. It's like, all right, what's gonna happen? Um, so yeah, and then also shout out to this moment as well, because if we want to be even more, I guess, historical about it, it is a historical moment in the sense that Kamala Harris is the first, not only person of color, but female vice president. Isn't that crazy? First vice president. And then, if I'm correct, the first African American and Asian, or South Asian, vice president ever in the history of like the USA, which is again wild to think about. But yeah, so shout out to Kamala Harris. And I guess to kind of sum up what I've been saying, I guess I'm looking forward to the next 4 years with a sense of new hope. I mean, I always do, regardless of who's there. But I think there's
Yeah, I
a
can't really
much.
hear you.
Oh, my bad.
No, I could hear you. You sound fine to me, man.
He said, "You sound fine to me, man." That's funny. Can you hear me now? You good then?
Edward
He said,
What?
Edward. Oh man, y'all wild,
All
bro.
right, I'm done.
Y'all are nuts. Oh, what was I saying though? Oh, but yeah, so I'm looking forward to the next 4 years as with a new sense of hope. But like I said, I always have every 4 years in relation to the presidency. I'm always looking forward to, okay, what's this person, what's this individual going to do for us, or what's this pair really, if we're taking the vice presidency also into account. I mean, but I think for sure, and you guys can also tell me whether you agree or disagree on this. President Joe Biden, Vice President Kamala Harris have a huge task on their freaking hands for the next 4 years. It's if they thought, I mean, some people are like, presidency is your job. Well, the job has now become a job. It's a 9 to 5 now. Job. Like it's real. I mean, this is freaking game 7. Last minute, like this is gonna every day for them, and the next 4 is gonna be game 7, last minute, freaking last freaking what's it called, quarter of the game. And yes, I do love using sports references, but
As you can tell by my baseball hat.
by my baseball hat, LA, champions in both World Series and the NBA championship. But yeah, bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, last man at bat, whatever. But yeah, it's gonna be an interesting, like I said, job for them. But I mean, what do you guys think? What are your what are you guys predicting, I guess you want to say, for the next 4 years to come? I know it's a heavy question, but it just kind of came to mind right now.
You can go, Diana.
What do you hope to see? I guess that's a better way to phrase it. What do you hope to see in the next 4 years?
There's a lot. I don't think everything can be done in 4 years. But I feel like in terms of where we're at right now, I'm hoping that at least, if this new president is the new president, making it official and everything, that he addressed the crisis that's going on right now in, you know, a more serious note and actually provide assistance to those that need it, would be the number one thing to do. Other than that, I feel like he needs to, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot that was like divided and broken down within these 4 years that needs to get rebuilt again. And it's also a lot of relationships with other like countries. So hopefully that gets solved within the next 4 years. That's it.
Thank you, Ms. Robles, for your
Welcome.
input. What about you, Senor Leon?
I mean, I totally agree with her on the whole issue of like having to unite this country again, because like I said earlier, it looks so divided right now. Like I can't say that I can't see a possible civil war, because to a certain point, the Democrats can take to a certain things, and so vice versa, so can the Republicans. But yeah, it just needs to be united again. But one thing that I really want to see happen is a better push for education. Because I mean, at one point, America was like leading country in education, and now we're like number 8 or 9 or some shit.
We're garbage.
And I feel pretty bad. Yeah. And I feel pretty bad for this new generation,
Yeah.
Because they're missing out on like a whole year with this whole online learning. All the people that don't have the resources or whatever. So that's my like number one, like education. Like there needs to be a bigger push. Less student debt. I got y'all.
Oh,
vote for me.
Yeah, vote for me. Yo, we're laughing now, but watch freaking 4 or 8 years later, new independent candidate Edward Leon running.
Who would be your vice president?
It would be your VP.
I don't know. That's a good question. I'd kind of need you guys to fight each other first to see who
I was gonna say
could
you're
defend
gonna
me
fight
first, and then whoever.
Luis got it. I'm not even gonna put up a fight.
Alrighty, y'all. I gotta leave already.
No worries, broski. Thank you for your input. Yeah, man.
It was fun
Joining
seeing you guys after like a month.
Yeah.
Peace out, y'all.
No.
Stop going to sleep early, Lewis. We need to get those Call of Duty games again.
Call of Duty. All right, I'm gonna try hard. I'm gonna try harder, bro.
All right
then, brother.
Stay fat, you guys.
Hey, see you, bud. There's always like that awkward just waiting
for him to leave.
Yeah, it's like all right. But yeah, so that was Edward, ladies and gentlemen. So luckily he got to put in his input because I think it's a good way to close out the show with this idea of like what, because it's one thing to be like, what do you think is gonna happen? Because there's a lot, but I think when you break it down to what do you hope for, I think it's a little easier because then there's something that you desire and it's a little more narrow because this is what you want. But for me personally, I think the huge thing is unity. Like you mentioned, and Edward also added on to you, Dinah. Like, because we're so split apart. Even if you look at the numbers in terms of votes, like it was pretty broken even. Obviously with Joe Biden getting the edge over him. But yeah, it's weird because I don't know. Like I don't even know what's going to happen, but I do know that I want is that hopefully there is unity. I hope because I feel like the U.S. America as of now is kind of like the butt of the joke in the world. We're kind of like we're the
kind of in the newspaper. You're like, well, let's read about some comics. Let's see what's going on in the U.S.
Yeah, and we're there every time.
Yeah.
And people may argue like, oh, we've always been a joke, right? And whether it's how we deal with our policies nationwide or around the world. But I guess you can say that, but I guess my point is it's never been pushed like this forward. Like, obviously, I think it's good to highlight the imperfections of our country, our home. But I think we need to do something to fix that. And not just fix the image, but, fix the wiring, fix the gears, fix the inside of rework some things, rewire some things, because, it's, like I said, as much as it is a victory, it's really just a new chapter. And there's a lot of things you got to fix, whether it's with social justice, whether it's with economics. There's so much with environmental awareness and whatnot, or science and da 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 da. So I think, if anything, I just hope that there's more unity and that there's more push for change. As we've seen within this past year, I think there's been a lot more. I think whether it's with social media, maybe we get to see more of it. But yeah, it's like I said, they got a job on their hands, but I think we're also part of it too. I just dropped my AirPod. I have to leave it out. But I think we're part of it as well. And yeah, and like I said, I have a greater sense of hope. But we'll see what happens in the next 4 years, because we're not even in 2021, and it feels like this year just keeps getting crazier. So, but that being said, for those of you who are watching this, whatever side you're on, whatever reviews are, it's just, I think now more than ever, we just need to be more united. Especially in this time of a pandemic. Like, I know there's still people who are like, man, this is just a hoax, da da da. Whatever, that's you. But at least I know on this show we recognize, we look to science, we look to medicine. We're very aware of what's happening. We try to do what's possible to help the situation. So yeah, there's a lot going on, and if anything, you just gotta see and wait what happens. But also, take action in between that waiting, and yeah. So these next couple of days are gonna be weird ones, whether it's reactions from certain groups, thoughts, reaction from the current president, whether or not he's actually going to leave, if we have to drag him out or something. I don't know what like I said, who knows? Like, it feels like we're on it's like sports reference, game 7, last minute, fourth quarter,
Because I think, didn't they say that whenever they see that, the president, whoever is the president right now, if they lose, they do like that. What is that word called? They do that speech, like, okay, like, I lost.
Oh, when they concede, they're like, all right, I lost.
Yeah. But it seems like Trump isn't gonna do it.
Yeah,
his administration already is like looking for a way so that they can recount all the votes, and I'm just like, what the heck? Like, so that's why I'm still like, how we kind of talked about it in our group and our group chat and everything, until that speech is given.
I'm trying to see that speech.
Office, that's
that
when
video.
I'm believe that everything is done, because I just feel like 2020 has been so like everything has just come out of nowhere that this is a possibility that it could possibly happen, that he's not going into this.
Like you said, I'm waiting for inauguration day. That's when I'll know. I'll be like, all right, cool. He's the president. All right. It finally happened. Yeah, but looking forward to that. If tomorrow does come. I know that does sound dire, but it's something like that. I live in the now, and then I wait for tomorrow to come. If tomorrow does come, and eventually we do get to see that inauguration day. I think it's gonna be a very historical day, especially with the inauguration of Kamala Harris as vice president. But even with that, just these last 4 years, I think have had such an impact that it will be historical for some, a historical victory. Those are my 2 cents. I think our 2 cents from couch potatoes. But yeah, I think that's a good way to end the show. We kind of breezed through this really fast. I don't think we're gonna get through it that quick.
What's the time?
Right here it says 1 hour and 21, but that's like with I have the timer. It's about an hour. The 21 is kind of like when we just kind of get in, just kind of get ready to do the show. But yeah, so if you're watching this, like we say, stay vigilant, stay hopeful, stay united. I'll put that on my candidacy T-shirt when I run for VP with Edward Leon. Nothing. But yeah, for those of you watching, stay safe. Just take care of one another. I think we need to now more than ever. Because, like you said, I think we joke, right? I feel like a lot of people think 23, 2, 1, 2021, like it's gonna be a restart. Like, nah,
Yeah.
it's just a continuation of what's been happening. So, like I said, take care of one another. Watch out for each other. You have any shout outs you want to give, Diana?
To the kitties.
Oh yeah, you're
They're
you're
cute. Hold
cat
on,
man
hold
now.
on, hold on. Hold on. See if I can do this right. It's because I don't want to. Look, she's sleeping. She's so
So
cute.
for those of you watching, our intern is officially a cat lady now.
I'm an animal person in general. I like all kinds of animals, okay?
Your
I
history
have
with
2
animals,
dogs,
I'm not gonna put
cats.
anything out there. Your history with animals is a little shaky.
Wonky, but it's not my fault. It's
Oh,
not my fault.
say
I love
less.
them. I try and
I try to keep them alive as much as I
no, they are
can.
alive. They're alive. we just
Oh
we
man,
just go through tough times sometimes.
I don't
It's
think that's
tough.
what animal lovers want to hear right now. Oh, there we go.
I
But
care
yeah,
for them.
so I guess your shout out is to cats and cat lovers around the world who are watching and listening to this.
Yeah. I
All
got
right.
kitties.
I'm trying to think. Who do I want to? I mean, shout out as always to the LA Lakers and LA Dodgers for bringing them home. We still have 2 teams, if I'm correct. It's there are the LA Kings, but I don't even know what's up with hockey. I don't watch hockey that much. LAFC, they're in the playoffs. Let's see if they can make a run and win the championship. LA Rams. I don't watch football that much. Hopefully they win stuff too. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so shout out to Zendaya. One day she's gonna pop up, Boop. Or be in the
Or
studio,
Tom Holland.
or Tom Holland. Hey, you know what? Shout out to Tom Holland as well. Looking forward to the new Spider-Man film. Hopefully, it comes out soon. What else? Shout out to Gilly the Answer, as always, the legend. Want to have him on the show. Who else? Shout
Oh,
out to
it's gonna come out late, but today's Fernie's birthday.
hey, shout out to Fern the Man, Fern the Burn Man. I don't know why I said that. Fernie Bernie. I'm just giving nicknames. Yeah, shout out to Fernie. He's been on the show when we were actually still in our older studio. So check that episode out. We'll probably link it because that was a funny one. And funny enough, that day they convinced me to go play basketball, and I didn't want to, but we went, and then we want to go eat, and then we met boxing champ Billy Joe Saunders, which is pretty cool. Himself a
Yeah, you're
controversial
welcome.
character.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Thank you. Also, thank you for the one picture you took.
You're welcome.
When you could have taken so many. You could have even taken a video. I would have liked that as well.
The picture came out pretty fine.
Fine. I guess. It did. It was on my Instagram. I should post it up again. But yeah. Who else? Who is she shouting out? Shout out to Kier Katsuri, no Thundermans. She's doing music now. Shout out to Angie Rose Music. I met her once. I don't know why I never took a picture with her because she visited El Cielito, the cafe shop.
Mm-hmm.
I never took a picture. I got a signed thing from her. Oh, maybe because I was looking crazy, all sweaty. We just played basketball thing. My socks, when the sweat mark, it's like white on the sock.
Yeah.
There was that. It was gross. I didn't know she was gonna be there. Shout out to El Cielito coffee shop. Haven't been there in a minute. Hope to get a drink from there soon. Support them, local shop in Los Angeles, HP. What else? That's it, right? There's only shout outs I got. Yeah, I think that's all I can think of. Well, if you're watching this, you can think of more, comment down your own shout out. And I'll do a shout out, to everybody who feels good today. By the time you're watching this, it'll be much later. But if you're watching this now, wait, let me correct myself. That makes no sense because then you'd have to time travel. So by the time you're watching this and you feel great about the victory in the current elections, shout out to you. If you feel that been through a tough time, it's been a long year, and we're in it together. So we're gonna keep going. And also shout out to Bruce, because like I said, he's part of a task force. He's changing lives. He's doing different things every day. Every time he misses an episode, he's doing. It's crazy, right? He's doing different things. Fascinating, man. That's pretty much it, right? That's all I got. I'm out of gasoline. I'm out of the gas. Actually, that doesn't sound right. But yeah, we love y'all. We appreciate you guys. Thank you for staying tuned in. Thank you for watching. Stay safe. We love you very much. Thank you for your support. Don't forget, as always, I always say this every time, there's a giveaway. Help us reach 100 subscribers. If I'm correct, we only need 13 more, and we'll reach our goal. Yeah, nice. We're gaining some momentum. But it's 13 more, and we're there. So, and guess what? You'll be entered to win a T-shirt. So please do that. What else? And I know I'll do an Instagram post soon. I know we got to do one because I keep lagging on that. Because I feel like people are like, what's going on? We'll do it soon. Relax, everybody. We just got to make sure we reach that goal before the end of the year, which I think is possible. I think we could reach 100 before December 31st.
November, come on, just
exactly. So, I just bit a piece of skin on my thumb on the camera. It's crazy. I think I just swallowed it. So, where was I at? Yeah, we love y'all. Stay fat with a PH.
I saw that, but I didn't want to say anything.
Yeah, I was like, I got too comfortable. I guess I'm too comfortable in front of the camera now. But we love y'all. Stay fat with a PH. We'll see y'all very soon in the next episode. Peace out, everybody. Danny's supposed to do the peace sign with me. Dude, I get it's funny, but do the peace sign.